What's crack, Alex? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know so. And today we're going to talk about the 49ers. Well, in, I guess, technically, year 2 of Garoppolo as the full starter. I mean, we didn't really get to see much last year. But, I don't know, we signed him a lot of money. Will the 49ers get to... Will that Jimmy G contract bear any fruit? Well, let's go ahead and discuss. But first, give me a subscribe, give me a like. If you like the content, it's always much appreciated. So let's go ahead, let's dive in. Jimmy G, he's surrounded with a lot of talent. George Kittle has a case to be made that he is the best tight end in football. Last year he had a great year. He was a scary receiving threat. And I mean, you got that. You can pair it up there. I mean, they came in and just drafted Deebo Samuel, who's going to be solid. I'm throwing him in here in the slot because I think they're going to do a lot of cool stuff with him. But Dante Pettis, he kind of turned on at the end of the year last year. The last 6 games were pretty good, pretty impressive. And I think he comes in and he has a quality 2019. I put as for the other outside receiver, I put Goodwin. I mean, you could debate this a little bit. Maybe Samuels takes that role and they put Trent Taylor in the slot. But they got a lot of options. They do have Jalen Hurd as well. At running back, there is a plethora of guys. I don't know. They're not keeping all these guys. I put Jerick McKinnon here because, I mean, they gave him money. I mean, honestly, I think it's going to be a rotation between him and Tevin Coleman. But they also do have Matt Breida. They got Jeffrey Wilson. Even Raheem Mostert had a really quality year last year before he got hurt. So they have a lot. They're not going to keep all those guys. But it's nice to have the talent, right? Joe Staley has been a very solid guy. And then McGlinchey he had a very good year last year. Mike Person's been a very solid contributor. I mean, those guys have been. Tomlinson and Richburg have been solid on the line inside there. And I think this offense is going to take a step forward with Jimmy G coming back healthy. Because, I mean, he played very well before he signed that contract right after that trade. So, I'm looking forward to see this. I'm thinking San Fran is going to be a playoff contender this year. I think this team is very talented. You just wait. And then on defense, let's take a look at defense because honestly, this is probably this was the group that needed the most upgrades, and they didn't really do it all the way there. They did a good job. I mean, they brought in D Ford, they drafted Nick Bosa. I mean, they also have Solomon Thomas there still, and Solomon Thomas could kick inside with Eric Armstead and Forrest Buckner, who Buckner's just a monster. So the defensive line looks very good, very stacked. They also have Sheldon Day there, who's quality rotation guy. Then Noshawn Alexander, they gave him a lot of money. Like Kwan Alexander. I like Kwan, but he occasionally misses a tackle or 2 or maybe 5. But I mean, if he could play up to that contract, then I think he pairs very well with Fred Warner. Now, at cornerback, his secondary has been a big weakness here. I mean, part of that was because they were having trouble getting to the passer. I don't think this year that'll be the case because they brought in Bosa and Ford. So can these guys cover long enough for those guys to get to the passer? Richard Sherman was probably the best corner on this team last year, and it was a really down year for him. Jason Verrett, I think, taking the risk on him because the guy when on the field has been very good, but that's the thing, he hasn't really been on the field. He's suffered some season-ending injuries, and it's heartbreaking. But this is a guy who can play both on the outside, and he's graded very well out on the outside. But I think in the slot he can excel here because they really want to know what they have with Witherspoon. This is, I feel like, kind of the last chance for Witherspoon. This is going into his 3rd season, so you should kind of know the guy you're getting. He was a bit of a liability after impressing in his rookie year. So can he improve? Because they didn't really address the secondary too much. They got Quan Williams, but he's okay. He's serviceable. Jimmy Ward's out for like the first half of the season, so there's that. I mean, they ended up drafting Tim Harris out of Virginia, which is all right, but I mean that's a late round pick. So there's a lot of questions here in the secondary, and even more when you get to safety, because Tarrant and Colbert, they kind of underperformed last year too, after the year before having a really quality season. That's why I got DJ Reed taking over for Adrian Colbert, and I got Tart still there. We'll see. I think there's a lot they need to improve in the secondary. That's going to be the weakness on this team. I mean, the pass rush is much improved, but it's like the corners need to be able to cover guys long enough so that pass rush can get through. That's my only concern. Other than that, this is a team that's honestly on the upswing. This is a good looking team. The way they are building this team, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at this schedule. Tough schedule. I mean, when you play the Rams and the Seahawks twice here, it's going to be tough. But they also got home games against Falcons, Packers, Steelers, and Browns. And then on top of that, their away games are pretty tough with the Ravens and Saints among those teams. But I honestly think a full year, a healthy year of Jimmy G this season, this team can make a run at the playoffs. I got them right now projected at 9-7. I would be surprised if this team could win 10 games, but I think 9-7 sounds about right. I think this team is trending in the right direction. They're moving in the right direction. And I mean, I think they're just another draft and free agency away from having a true Super Bowl contender. That's been the video. You can catch me on Twitch, Broshmo Gaming, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday night, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.